Wait, you're sponsored?
Mm-hmm.
Can I get some?
Yeah, sure. When you come to New York, I'll give you some
I heard
packets.
that it was kind of a scam.
What do you mean a scam?
Like, everyone's like, oh, this is amazing for bloating, like, great way to get your greens in. But, like, it doesn't really do all that.
I mean, it definitely is a great way to get your greens in. I don't really get bloated, so I can't really speak to that.
Okay.
Oh, I have hella morning voice right now. I need to get rid of it. But they have, it's good for your, like, nail health, hair health. They sent me a pack of information of all the vitamins in it.
Y'all, yesterday was one of those assignments that I turned in. I knew I had hella things wrong and I didn't do a lot of things, but it was 11:59, so I had to turn it in.
Submit. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I forgot about those days. Holy crap. That's crazy. You live such a different life. Let's see.
Yeah, I swear to God,
better.
I sunk like probably 10, 12 hours into that homework.
What class is this for?
Concrete.
Green.
I no longer love concrete.
Concrete.
You got problems that in a concrete class that takes you 12 hours?
Yeah, it's a concrete design course. Well, it's because she doesn't teach, so I have to learn the whole thing as I'm doing it.
There's no way concrete is that complicated.
You want me to give you my problem sets? No, it's honestly not. It's like geometry.
Like how concrete Oh, okay.
It's geometry?
Interesting.
Well, it's physics and geometry. So it's like physics standpoint, it's like statics. So determining like maximum bending moment. And then from that, you determine the flexural design strength. So how much can it bend? You know how this is a beam.
This makes
is when
sense,
there's a loading on it. So like you need to design the beam so that it's able to handle the maximum loading that you placed on it.
That's just physics. That's not concrete.
I mean, it's the physics.
No. But then you have to take into account the concrete properties. So like the cracking strain of concrete is 0.003, and like and then we also have to put rebar in the concrete.
You put in the parameters
you have to
for concrete,
determine,
but at the end of the day, it's physics.
But then you have to design what the dimensions of the beam are, and then also the type of rebar that you put in, like the size, the number of that rebar, and then also how much they're spaced. There's like a lot of considerations that go into it.
Man, this is so different from business school.
Actually, they're 3D printing concrete now. Did you know that?
What is concrete? Like, what are the components of
concrete?
Yeah.
Oh, here's the recipe. So you have cement, like ordinary Portland cement, which is called OPC. So
yeah, what is cement?
Cement is like a mix of things. So there's like silicates, limestone, things like that. It's just like all crushed up into a fine powder. And then you add water, and then you add your fine aggregates. So usually that's sand or like small little pebbles. And then you have your coarse aggregates, which is like bigger rocks. And you mix it all together and you get concrete.
So it's like the jungle juice of rocks.
Yeah, basically.
Nice. Okay. That makes sense in my mind now.
Good.
I wasn't sure what it is, but now I get it.
Good. I'm glad that you were able to learn a little bit about concrete today.
Nice. Wow.
It is the #1 used material in all the world. Jesse, what are you eating today? Of course.
There are two different people in the world. People who start their day with dates, shrimp crackers, and athletic greens. The three very different people.
Very, very different ways to start the day. I have this, and I also have. What was I eating before? Oh, I don't know if it counts as fonlisu because it's like a $2 version of it. But they are pineapple cakes.
Oh, I love. Oh,
Let's talk about how being healthy for breakfast is a privilege, and like depending on your socioeconomic status, whether you can afford. First of all, whether you have time to eat breakfast in the morning, and then whether or not you can afford to eat a healthy, nutritious meal. Breakfast is a luxury.
No, I think just having access to healthy food in general is a luxury because so at Ohio State there's a program called Humanitarian Engineering Scholars, and a lot of the work that they do is with food insecurity, specifically in Columbus. So we work with a lot of community gardens in Columbus. And it really is like people who live in certain areas of Columbus, they don't have like a proper grocery store near them within like 2-3 miles. All they have is like gas stations. They have gas stations, and there's no like fresh produce in gas stations, and you know the kind of food that they sell in gas station, like that's not healthy. So a lot of the community gardens, go sponsor your local community gardens. They act in a lot of different capacities. So the one that my club works with, they are part of a grow op, which is where a bunch of local farmers come together and like sell their produce together, so they have more like selling power, because as like a singular farmer you don't have that as much power as like collectively. But they also have farmers markets where they will sell all of their produce for like $1 a pound, which is amazing.
Oh my God.
The thing is, once you have produce, there's still so many factors that go into it, like being able to make food, having the capital to buy, have a stove, have pots and pans. There's so many things that you need to have in order to, like, once you have that produce, you still need to do a lot of work to make a meal out of it. There's a book called $2 a Day, Living on Almost Nothing in America. I took a class by the person who wrote this book. And basically what they did was the person who wrote the book lived through the life of someone who lives in poverty in the U.S. There are millions of people. I forget what the number was, but it was a staggering amount of people. It was probably like 3 million people in the U.S. live.
Oh my God!
Like not below
1%.
So poverty is defined like as a threshold, and it's like maybe like,
isn't it 30,000
a year? Yeah, but there is another level of poverty where you're either homeless or you make like several dollars a day. And there are about 3 million people at that level. I don't know the exact numbers. Let's get the pod started. So, hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Rooftop Top. Am I speaking correctly?
No, not really. You said the Rooftop Top.
So bad.
Get it together, Jesse.
Hello everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Rooftop Pod. I am host Jesse. And I am welcoming back again my virtual siblings,
Rachel
and Andrew,
and my brother. Yes,
Andrew.
And we are bringing you another episode over the ether. And we're trying to do this with as little technical difficulties as possible, but we'll see. I think the last episode went okay, so hopefully we can get a good episode going again. Happy Easter, everyone. Today is Easter Sunday.
Happy Easter.
For us. Yes, I forgot. This is probably not going to be released anywhere near Easter, but just wanted to say Happy Easter for all those who celebrate. I was thinking about going to church today,
Lord
but then I asked
risen.
my friend. He is risen, and the bunnies are hiding eggs.
And the peeps are peeping.
And people have baskets.
Peeps are peeping. Yeah, it's really interesting how I actually want to know what the origin story of like pagan holidays. Like why is there an Easter bunny, and then why are there decorated eggs? Like where does that come from? Not important.
I actually looked this up, but I can't remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, that was a useless comment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking about going to church this morning. Obviously, we're doing this instead of going to church. But this is, to me, my church.
We're celebrating the Lord together. Anyone want to give a quick little sermon?
We could sing a hymn.
John 3:16. Let's say it together.
Easter? What's a good
Easter?
The Lord is my shepherd. No,
I shall not
Happy
be in
day.
want. He leads me by. Oh, that's a baptism.
Happy day, happy day.
Is that a hymn?
When Jesus
washed my sins away. He taught me how to wash and pray.
Oh my God.
And now I do it every day, I think.
No, I don't think so.
Happy day.
Happy day. When Jesus washed my sins away.
That's not a good one though. No one really knows that one.
Yeah, I'm like, is that our church specific one, or is that a universal baptism
That's
song?
a good question.
I guess I've never
think it's a
witnessed another
universal
church do
baptism song.
baptism.
Exactly. It's
kind of strange.
I've witnessed another church do
That's
baptism.
true.
I've just never heard
really?
that church do. I used to church hop a lot. Like when I went to California, I went to a couple churches. When I first lived in New York, I went to a couple churches. And then in DC, I went to a couple churches when I first started out.
That's true.
So.
Andrew, we'll go to churches in New York together.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go to, unironically, I want to go to Hillsong.
Yeah, we
well,
can go.
I feel like Hillsong has its own problems, but like the music,
the
phenomenal.
worship.
It's
honestly, I think I would go to Hillsong just because it's like a concert every
day,
week, pretty much.
Yeah,
they've downsized
I feel
a lot.
Like that would be
like the scandal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but like I still feel like the talent is. I feel like the worship team talent is probably still there.
Yeah. I mean, I need
like
to go
less
to
people
confirm.
go. Yeah, let me know. I'm actually kind of interested because like good worship is probably one of the top traits of a church that you look for. Because I don't know, I like music a lot, so like people who are, and it's something I can appreciate because I led worship for like 3 years in college. But it's definitely something that I look for in a church. Not that I'm really looking for it. Anyways, I was saying that I asked my friend because he was telling me that he wanted to go to church because it was Easter. But then you become that person who like just goes to church on like Christmas and Easter, and then like, what's the point? Like, I almost feel like that's worse than just like not going to church. You think? But I think why I feel bad about that is because
you used to look
people who
down
go to
on
church.
those people. Oh, okay.
Yes, people who regularly, exactly. People who regularly go to church look down on the people like we've been taught in sermons.
Do they
like,
though?
oh, the people who I think so. I feel like there's.
Because I feel like they should
look.
take that as an opportunity to evangelize.
So
really, they should be
opportunity.
grateful that people still come versus not coming at all.
Yes, but I do feel like people do get made fun of for like going to church just on Christmas and Easter. Like,
I mean, I've gone more than just Easter. I just said the Lord is risen. Maybe I should go celebrate. I don't know.
But then maybe I feel personally bad about it. Maybe I'm just like, hey, like
stop projecting your insecurities.
Oh.
My religious insecurities.
Yeah.
On others. Well, yeah, so my friend was like, yeah, I'm going to go to church for Easter. So I asked him yesterday, it's like, what time is service? Like, I'm going to see if I can try to make it. He's like, well, actually, it's an online service. I was like, I'm not going to go to Easter service if it's online. So
yeah,
I was just like, no need. So I'm here, and I got to sleep in a little bit because of that. Okay. So today we are going to talk about a couple of things kind of related to what we talked about yesterday, because it's still fresh on my mind that I went to a bachelor party and just the topic of marriage and weddings and stuff has been brought up a lot.
Jesse's ready to get cuffed.
Well, actually,
Jesse's looking
No. Okay, sorry. This actually doesn't really have that much to do with marriage. Is just topics that we talked about during the bachelorette party, and I was like, oh, this is great fodder for like our podcast. So I was like, I'm gonna write these down. So shout out to the people who were at the trip. The first thing is, this has nothing to do with that, but like, if the world were to be run by women, how would conflicts be handled?
Wait, did I talk to you about this, or did I talk to Rachel about this, or did we all talk about this? I feel like I talked
did
to
we
Rachel
talk about it?
Oh no, we did talk about this.
Because maybe it was me and Andrew.
Yeah.
Rather than maybe this
I
was
don't think
before
I
the
was
bachelor
in
party.
this conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, but I thought this was a really interesting question. If the world were to be run by women, how would conflicts be handled? because it's definitely a very masculine thing to want to handle conflicts by either hand-on-hand combat or by war. So like when nations are in conflict with each other, the default answer to handle the conflict is to like kill each other. But I feel like women would handle conflicts so differently and so much more, maybe more strategically. I feel like it would be okay. So this is what I hypothesize. I think that if women were running the world, there would be a lot of when you're handling conflicts, there'd be a lot of passive aggressiveness and a lot of assassinations, like poisoning people's drinks. Oh wait, what? Why? I just feel like women wouldn't like wage war and like make innocent civilians fight their fight for them. I feel like women would just like handle it on their own and like only take care of the people who are responsible. Rachel, you might have better perspective on this.
Yeah,
obviously.
I want to hear Rachel's perspective on this.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe more so in the older days, people would just automatically wage war. I feel like now things are done much more diplomatically. And I feel like how they're...
Not Vladimir.
Well, not really, but it's like more so than the first course of action is war. Like we'll try to figure things out. Like we'll wage like sanctions and like whatever taxes and whatever, you know. I don't know anything about politics, so I'm just speaking on my butt right now.
What if Russia was being run by Vladimir Putin? How would he try to take back Ukraine?
How would she take back Ukraine?
How would she take back?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think I agree with you on the strategic part. I feel like women, when they maybe not as a, I think for me personally as a woman, I like to handle conflict in a much more long-term way. Like I'll work on something for a while instead of it being like an instant resolution, you know, because I like to think that I'm very considerate of the other person. So like I'll like slowly try to nudge them one way instead of confronting them and being like, you need to change this, especially if I know the other person is sensitive to things like that. Obviously if it gets to a certain point, like I will confront people about things that are like in my eyes unacceptable. So I just think that women are much more careful. Some women are much more careful when dealing with conflict, and they take into account how the other person is feeling a lot more than men sometimes do.
I don't know. I feel like this is a lot of generalizations because I was thinking, on one hand, the bar fights and like street fights that I've seen are primarily
only men.
Dudes. Only men, but I have seen women get into like some hand-to-hand cat fights. That's
true.
Sexist to say that, but
that is sexist to say that.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh,
that's
really?
like pink tax. That's just like marketing things different because it's with women.
But I think
I'm not charging more money.
Okay. But it's like different terms to make it seem less. But when it's like the same degree of seriousness.
Yes, I was gonna say. But you have the same aggression on either sides of the gender. So maybe Vladimir Putin would be even more destructive and launch like nuclear weapons. So you don't know that.
I think the general like, you know how Republicans attack, this is also generalization, but some Republicans will attack women who are running for positions of power by saying, oh, they're like so erratic and like one day they'll be fine and the next day they'll like want to wage war, la 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 la, like just as like super like emotionally unstable is how women in politics have sometimes been characterized. Which is so untrue.
Was it sexist of me to assume that women wouldn't wage war? I just feel like a woman in power would like definitely, the threshold at which they would be like, oh yeah, we're gonna launch nuclear bombs is way higher than like a dude.
I think if you're comparing to like Vladimir Putin, but that's like for anyone.
I'm just I guess again it's generalization. It just depends on who's in power. There's definitely a woman out there who would be trigger happy and blast people, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then there's
I
just
think-
more decisive.
I don't know. In my eyes, like generalizations that I will tend to make are that men just have bigger egos and like are more or like want to show off the amount of power
More
that they
protective
have.
of their egos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas
Okay.
women like care a little less. But I think in politics, like everyone has an ego. Like you can't be in politics
Regardless,
without
yeah.
an ego.
Politics is
That's
self-selecting
fair.
for people of that trait. Yeah.
Okay. That's true. And it doesn't differ depending on your gender, I guess. That's actually very true. Now that I think of all the male and female politicians, they all have the similar archetype of being very egotistical.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like you have to have an ego if you're going to think you can best represent a whole group of people.
Yeah.
That's true.
To
That's
say
true.
like I deserve this power and influence, you have to believe something in yourself.
Very unrelated. So the next question I'm going to talk about along the lines of gender roles is whether or not you're going to change your last name when you get married. And the fact that in America it's expected that the woman changes their last name to the man's last name.
Yep.
But in China, everyone keeps their last name. But I guess the
kids.
similarity there is the kids still get the man's last name passed down to them.
Actually, my friend has her mom's last name. So the son has the dad's last name and the daughter has the mom's last name. Yeah. But then it's really confusing because I
That
didn't
is
know
really
that they were
confusing.
related until high school.
Yeah, that is really confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if that's
Kinda cool,
normalized, then like no one would assume relations with brothers and sisters. Well, yeah, who cares if like we have
who
different
cares
last
if-
names?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Rachel was
And we'll
Rachel
just tell them
Dai-
that we're
Oh wait, Ming. If Rachel was Rachel Ming instead of
No, die.
Dai. Sorry, I
Yeah.
flipped that. Yes.
No, you're good.
That's
Just
interesting.
space.
What ethnicity was your friend?
Oh, Chinese.
Chinese, really? Is that a thing
Yeah.
that
Wow.
Chinese people do? Really? I didn't
don't-
realize Chinese people were so progressive. But it just makes sense though. Like the sons
Mom
take
kept
on
her
the
maiden
father's
name, yeah.
last name.
Oh, and my
Right, but
my
she
roommate
didn't keep like
who's-
her mom's maiden name.
Yeah, but
Oh.
my Peruvian roommate, she has her mom and dad's last names hyphenated. So it's
I was
Yeah.
about to ask you that.
Gallegos Ortega instead of just Gallegos, I think. And I think that's what they do generally in like certain parts of South America.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the next generation is gonna have 4 names hyphenated together.
Yeah, you can't do that indefinitely is the only issue.
Oh, this is true. Actually,
You can do that for
I'm gonna
one
have to ask her
generation.
about that. Yeah. Well, I think you end up like taking
You choose the
only
best
one
two.
half.
Is that
out of the
why you
4.
have like Esteban in Sweet Life of Zach
Oh,
Cody?
Oh my god.
Julio. Is it
Yeah,
just a
from
bunch of
Sweet Life of Zack and
hyphenated
Cody.
last names?
Yeah.
I
The
don't know
bellboy.
why.
Do you remember that? Rachel, do you remember that reference?
Oh yeah, of course I remember it.
Oh, okay. Good,
Oh,
good,
okay.
good,
Wait,
good.
wait. I'm gonna look up
Iconic,
his
yeah.
name.
Yeah, look this up. Look this up.
Esteban
Montoya, like
Montoya, full name Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de la Rosa Ramirez. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no, yes. Actually, yeah, I think that's actually.
I
This
don't-
almost
Wait, my
sounds like.
roommate is literally in like the
De la
next room.
Rosa
I could just
Ramirez.
ask her. Okay,
Just
I
text her,
vaguely
you have-
remember her
Or
saying.
no, you don't.
No,
have
it's on my phone. I vaguely remember her saying
an
like
iPad?
sometimes they just choose the two that sound the best together,
the best
so
out
it
of the
doesn't end
4.
up sounding
Yeah.
whack. Yeah.
Esteban
I like
Julio
that.
Ricardo Montoya.
But on the whole changing last names, I think I've decided.
Yeah, what
well,
would
I
you
mean,
do?
you guys already know that. Like,
Keep it.
first
keep
of all,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
100% keeping it.
I'm
Like,
assuming
I
you're gonna keep your
value.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, I value our family history a lot.
Hell
and I think
yeah.
that
Mhm.
our last name carries a lot of that with me. And that's like something that I will never want to lose. Like,
lose.
that's why matching tats, like, I want to commemorate our family because I think our family
Yeah,
history
we
is so
just have to figure
special.
it
We
out.
should.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting more on board with getting a tattoo. Please comment
I mean,
where.
It doesn't
get,
have to
like-
be big. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking about tattoo locations, and I think I'd get one on my leg. but I don't think I can get a small tattoo on my leg.
You
can get a small ankle
Like-
one.
No, I don't want an ankle tattoo.
Feminine. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
I'm
I could.
getting one on the side of my
The
torso.
rib. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where Nick got his, but I don't know if I want one there.
Like I want a thigh tattoo to be honest, out of all the locations, or a back tattoo. Like okay, I said back tattoo, but Rachel's like, but then you'll never see it. I'm like, where
I don't want a back tattoo. I want something on the arm.
Arm
or
is
somewhere
too
on
visible.
arm, hand, appendage.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
but
think
like if you're
where
in a
it gets
professional
tricky-
setting, it's easy to hide.
Yeah. Where it
Yeah.
gets tricky is if it's on your forearm, which direction is it gonna face? That's
True.
something that I've thought about a lot.
Does it
Because you
face
bend your
face
arm
down?
all the time. Yeah.
Or we can have one that's like symmetrical, where it doesn't really matter which way you're looking at it.
Oh,
Could also do
that'd
that.
be
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
But that limits our options a lot.
Slimmer. And we're already having trouble
Anyways,
deciding.
let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Okay, so
Okay, yeah.
for you, who would you? This is a question more for me and Andrew, but would you take your wife's last name? Like, if your wife really strong, say like someone like Rachel, who's like, oh, this means a lot to me. I want to keep it. You should also take it, and our kids are taking my last name. Would you be open to that? Would you accept that, or would you fight against it vehemently?
I would keep. I mean, nothing against my partner, but I like our last name a lot too, so I'd want to keep it. The kids part is tricky, because I do want the Zahn name to go down. I actually do like the approach of the daughter keeps the mother's last name, and but I guess it is kind of confusing because the siblings won't have the same last name. But like, so what? Like, yeah, it doesn't really affect anything. No, I'd have. I'm like, can you come up with a cooler last name than Jen? I don't think so.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be cooler, but it might hold the same amount of meaning to the other person as it does to us.
But I mean, our last name also holds like a lot of meaning to us too.
It does.
So
For sure. Yeah. I mean, but is it toxically masculine to be like, no, like
I know, yeah.
they should have my last name? I don't
Because
think
that's traditionally
it doesn't
what
come from a
happens, yeah.
place. I don't think it comes from a place of toxic masculinity. At least for me, like I don't want my kids to have my last name because it's like, oh, I want the world to know that they're my children, like I own them, kind of thing. I want them to remember like where they came from.
Yeah, their
what the
heritage.
roots are.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly, which carries a lot of weight for us. But also the other thing is in academia and science, usually women in academia don't change their last name because all your publications prior, like if you change your last name, they're no longer associated with you. So like a lot of women in academia keep their last name so that all their prior publication records stay with them. And that's important. But I think the next thing is like, what do you do with the kids?
Yeah.
And that was Rachel's solution. Is probably the best solution I've ever heard for this problem. It's just like the guy's taking the dad's last name and the girl's taking the mom's last name. I think that makes, at least to me, it makes a lot of sense.
That kind of makes
and
sense.
Actually, I would consider doing that myself.
But it's like, what if you only have a son or a daughter or like one gender of child?
I'm not completely opposed to hyphenating.
But then it's like, if you marry someone out of culture, it's going to sound whack.
It's going to sound real interesting. Actually, even within culture, because
No,
Chinese
I think that would go hard, bro. I think a mix of
Really?
our last name with like a random like
Jefferson.
I don't know.
Jefferson's on.
Jefferson's on. Well,
Like
that
Ramirez
would almost sound
from like Zan
Jan
Ramirez.
Ramirez. Wait, that's actually kind of dope. Wait a second.
That's kind of hard.
Wait, I kind of like that.
Any Ramirez shorties out there?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Rachel, no.
I know a Ramiro.
Ramiro. Zan Ramiro. Yeah, dude,
yeah.
that would be so hard, actually. Damn. I love that.
Wait, I'm kind of about that. Wait a second.
Yeah, I'm about that. And then the other conversations, like whose last name comes first, like the order. But then you just do it by what sounds better. There's probably an obvious answer with that. And then, but I feel like nowadays, I don't know. like in practice, I actually haven't really seen someone not take their husband's last name. Like it hasn't
actually
become popular enough where people are actually doing that.
I think more so in my generation, like the generation that hasn't gotten married yet, but is and also not thinking about marriage, but like just kind of sometimes it pops in as a thought. Actually, some people in my grade have gotten married recently, which is crazy. But I know someone who said they would want to take their partner's last name because they don't like theirs, who is a male. Which is funny that Jesse brought up the whole academia thing because he's also planning on going into academia. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
All right. Any other thoughts on this subject?
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, if you don't like your last name, this is a good way to switch. I remember in 4th grade. Do you remember in 4th grade? I mean, I kind of feel bad for her, but it's a bunch of elementary school kids. But her last name was Butts with like Butts.
Yes, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Person.
I remember the kids would make fun of that, but...
Yeah, and people would say that her husband's name was Harry.
Harry, yeah. I was like, is her husband's name actually Harry?
That would be so cruel of parents to do
by the
that.
parents. Like, the parents would never.
Yeah.
But I'm just
honestly
like,
looking
did she
back,
take her husband's name? Because I would have revolted.
I would have been like,
Oh wow, no offense to anyone's last name who's Butts. I'm sorry.
No, actually, wait. This was a teacher, right?
Yeah, this is a teacher.
Were you talking about a teacher? Yes.
Yeah.
Her kids also went to our school.
Oh.
And
I didn't know that.
Very, very nice lady.
I bet, yeah.
Lady now, girl back then, but like she was like super nice. I hope no one made fun of her. She was like a very sweet person.
Not. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yes. So, like speaking of like giving children cruel names, I feel like we didn't name. It's because we got to choose John's name, right?
We really did.
I actually think I came up with the name.
You guys chose John's name?
Did you come up with John?
I thought I came up with John. Did you?
I was not a part of this discussion.
I mean, I think we both liked
too young,
the name
Rachel.
John. Yeah,
I was 8.
We like the name John,
Yeah,
but I don't know
8.
why we didn't think of the fact that John and Zahn, the way the Americans
Rhymed.
pronounce her last name, rhymed. And so when my friends found out that we named our brother John, they were like, "Holy cow! Like he's gonna get so much for like having a rhyming name," and they were like. They're already calling him like, my friends obviously weren't making fun of him, but they're already starting to give him nicknames like johnzonthebomb.com. And there's just like so many things you can do with that. And I wonder if John is like getting shit in school because of
I think I asked him. He's
John's,
not.
Like if
I
like his name
him.
is John Zahn. Hi,
But
my name is John Zahn.
The way our last name
silly.
is written, like I actually had a conversation with a friend yesterday. She's like, "Why is the Americanized version of our last name Zahn? Because it's Jan, and the phonetic pronunciation is closer to Zan. Like whenever I had a substitute teacher, they would say
That's
like
true.
Andrew Zan, and then I would incorrectly correct her to Zahn because that's how Dad Americanized.
I
it.
always did that too. Yeah, that's how Dad Americanized. It's actually really interesting because Zahn, Z-A-H-N, which is what a lot of people misspell.
Yeah.
I got that misspelling so many times
All the
growing up,
time.
is German. So whenever I tell people my name is Jesse Zahn, people would first spell it Z-A-H-N. And then when they saw me, they were expecting like a white person because Germans are obviously Caucasian.
Wow, that's so
they were really
interesting.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the perception of our last name is that it's German. Because Zahn
That's very interesting.
German.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got that mistake a lot growing up. And I actually didn't really realize it until I took German in college. I was like, oh, the way I pronounce my last name is actually
a German word. Wait, is it a German like last name or is Zahn an actual word in German?
It's actually a last name in German.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it actually means anything. Yeah. In fact, there's an actor named Stephen.
Yeah, it's actually
Zahn.
so funny that that's how Dad Americanized it.
Yeah. Zahn is a German and Ashkenazi Jew surname. Notable people with this surname are Albert Zahn, a folk artist in Wisconsin, Anthony Zahn, an American cyclist, Ernst Zahn, a Swiss writer, We come from a long lineage of Zahns. Wilhelm Johann Karl Zahn, German architect, painter, and art critic. Our Zahn, Zhan Tianyu, is the most famous of them all.
Famous railroad
history lesson
person.
Yeah. Zhan Tianyu is the great mind behind the Transcontinental Railroad, built back in like the 1800s.
Didn't he go to Yale? Is that where he went to school?
Did Yale exist?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
This is like the 1900s. 19?
Wait.
Let's learn a little bit about our heritage. I don't actually think we're related to him, but
oh, really?
He was a chief engineer.
Wait,
I don't
what,
think
Andrew?
so. I mean,
wait, are we
distantly? Oh, he did go to Yale.
Yeah. What do you mean? What the heck?
Have you just been claiming him as a relative?
A distant relative? Didn't mom and dad say that he was somehow a distant relative?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I feel like, okay, if you think about dad's lineage, like how...
Yeah, completely different province.
Where?
Oh, actually very close.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait.
That's what I'm saying. Jiangxi? What
no,
does
they're
Wikipedia
not from
say?
Jiangxi. He's from Huizhou, which is in the province of... I mean, this is all in Pinyin.
Can you describe where in the chicken this is?
No, it's literally right underneath Jiangxi.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, okay.
We should ask mom and dad about this.
Man, we've been saying that dad's the first one in his family to go to America. Were we wrong this whole time?
Wait, hold on. Huizhou is...
Although I feel like we don't really have good family records on dad's side in terms of lineage.
We just have a big book of names.
Oh, so we do have a book of names. Nice.
Yeah.
Mom's
Every time a child
side
is born.
is also crazy. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I need to learn more about mom's side, but continue.
Yeah, I talked to mom recently. She was telling me her ancestry lineage, and we have some, was it great uncles or great grandparents that were like generals in the Taiwanese like defective group, like the group that formed Taiwan, apparently. No idea.
That's crazy.
Wait, what? Our family has connections with that group, the nationalist group that first moved to Taiwan. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm looking it up because I'm really curious now if there's a chance we're actually related to Zhan Tianyu. And oh my goodness. No. Okay, so he's from the southern region of Anhui, which is like bordering Jiangxi, and Duchang is in the northern part of Jiangxi. So it's actually very similar region.
And is it the same like character last name?
It's the same character, yeah. That's why we introduce ourselves as Zhan Tianyu, the Zhan, because obviously we were the same character. We wouldn't introduce ourselves like that.
But I feel like that last name is very uncommon.
I think uncommon as opposed to like Zhang, but like
with
still
the G.
mildly still mildly common, because at OSU at least I'm the 205th Zahn, which is like
wait, what?
Yeah,
there's that many in Ohio.
I don't know if I believe. I also am like the 30 or 60, 40, 46.
What? Dang,
wait, but I'm like, actually, Case uses our initials, so it's not really our last name. But yeah, I've definitely seen people with our last name, like even on Instagram. Yeah,
I mean,
you know who else shares our last name?
Who?
LeBron James. The Chinese translation of his name is Zhan Mesu, and the Zhan is our Zhan.
Oh.
Yeah, so LeBron James.
I was like,
his
what?
last name
Where's this going?
Are we related?
We're related to LeBron James.
Yeah. He's from Ohio.
He is also from Ohio.
From Ohio.
Dang. Somehow we're distantly related to LeBron
I've touched
James.
a basketball before.
I see it.
He's touched a basketball before.
I play rec basketball
black hair
all the time.
I have black hair.
People in the village have asked me about black people. That was the funniest conversation I've ever had in my life.
That's true. They've probably never seen.
No, they probably never met a black person.
They've never interacted with. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I do see why that's like maybe some people take offense to this, but like when like a black or a white person goes to China or travels in Asia, Asian people will flock them with like cameras and like they're just like, holy we've never seen one of these before. But like, is that like offensive? Like, are they being
I think
treated
it's
like
a little dehumanizing.
animals in a zoo?
Yeah.
It is,
But,
but
like-
like honestly, if I saw like an ethnicity that looks wildly different from who I am, and like I saw him for the first time in person, I'd be like, whoa, this is really. I want to be able to show my friends.
I mean, that's what happened to our uncle's babysitter, Dusan. I think you pronounce it Duncan.
Oh,
He's
Dushan.
Dushan is his Chinese name. But
Yeah.
he's a ginger, like with a ginger beard and blue eyes. And he, even in Shanghai,
like
he was like,
Irish
I
or
get stopped all the time.
To get pictures
By
taken
people.
out.
Yeah, to
Oh,
get
I
pictures.
And he
remember
probably
him.
loves
Okay,
it.
yeah.
And he loved it. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, this is amazing.
It's almost like, okay, it can either be seen as dehumanizing or being treated kind of like a celebrity.
A celebrity, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which I guess being treated like a celebrity
Yeah,
is
so
slightly
it's like-
dehumanizing. But anyways,
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually true.
but,
but,
can we also talk
um,
about... No, okay, continue.
No, go. No, Rachel, you go.
Oh, 黑人牙膏. Like...
I don't think it's actually a black person. It looks like just like a
No,
a
it's
silhouette.
worse.
It's
I think
called
it's
黑人牙膏. Isn't it?
I know, but I think it's like their icon, their like logo is
A
like
person with
I
black
don't think
face
they're
instead of a
referring-
black person?
I don't-
Yeah, which is worse.
no, it's just a silhouette. It's a silhouette. It's not even a person.
Oh.
Like I don't
No,
think
he
Flash
definitely
logo,
has
that's
eyes
strange.
and teeth.
Yeah. It's pretty racist, I think.
It's very racist. But
Well,
it like but this is a thing.
Oh my
I think it
God,
stems
it
from
is.
yeah.
Oh, this is really bad. Holy shit. Wait, I'm
But
gonna
the thing
say
no,
is,
no,
like,
okay.
the
yeah.
original. Oh my
they
God,
don't
this
have
is
the
so bad.
context of like the history of why this
Holy
is
cow.
racist.
This is true. There was like no slavery in
No,
China
that
from
looks
Africa.
Oh my god, that's terrible. Oh my god, that's so
that
bad.
is so bad. But
Wait,
but what
I'm getting
used to
FOMO. I'm not looking at it.
Uh,
Send
what
it in the
what
chat.
I'm
my
used to
message?
seeing.
Share
Oh,
your
no,
screen.
no,
They
oh,
they
yeah.
improved
Oh, you
it
sent-
over time, I guess. Because now it's just a white person.
this.
Oh,
Can you see?
Yeah, that's a real
Oh,
That's
bad.
pretty
no.
bad.
That's
really
awful.
Bad.
that's really bad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, this
that
is backwards. Yaren,
awful.
hey. Yeah, this is really. But this is what I'm used to seeing,
Yeah, you're right.
which is like
Oh, yeah,
very.
yeah.
Just a white person.
Oh my god.
I don't know if this is real or not.
That's
this
so
might just-
awful.
Oh my god.
I think
But
is
yes,
this
that's
why
actually-
is
Share
this
my other
why
screen.
like model like we're considered
There's
model
definitely deep
minorities and then we
There's
are
definitely
pitted
deep racism
against
in-
yeah.
That's so bad.
Oh my
Dark.
god.
What is Darly? Is this just like a spelling mistake that they meant to say like dark, but they said
Maybe
Dar?
they realized it was bad and then changed it. Dear God, that is terrifying.
That is terrifying.
I was about to justify it and say that maybe genuinely they just think that people with darker skin have like whiter teeth because
Whiter
of the
teeth.
contrast. Because when I talked to people in the village about black people, like it was like from a genuine place of curiosity. They were like, "Oh, like they're so
Yeah,
pretty and
yeah.
their eyes are so big and like things like that." And I was
Yeah.
like, "This is so
Uh-huh.
funny that I'm having these conversations
Yeah.
with people who have literally never interacted with like a darker, like naturally darker skinned person."
I almost feel like it's hard to form racist. Maybe it's not hard, but like it's hard to form genuine like racist feelings if you've never lived with or seen those people. Like how do you form those strong biases if like you haven't even seen like a black person before? Which is why I feel
almost
like
think it's easier because there's more distance, so it's much easier to
Oh,
dehumanize them. Yeah.
Well,
dehumanize them.
I think.
But then how do
it's-
you generate strong feelings? Like all
It's
the
like-
racist people in the U.S. probably either grew up around them or like have at least seen them and put like a face to a name, and their actions that I don't know, like how I don't know how a racist mind works, but
Because
I
you're
feel
not
like
one.
to form.
Nice.
No, I think everyone's racist
Oh.
or holds racist biases because we're just raised in a society
Yeah.
that has a lot of structural racism involved in it. So it's just being able to recognize it. But like someone who has really strong visceral biases, I feel like it's hard to form those if you've never like put a name to a face.
I feel like it's easier.
I think with the internet now, it's like really easy to
because Holocaust,
just consume one side. Oh wow!
If you think about like
Holocaust,
no, as an example of like people who are Aryan, whatever. Like they probably didn't interact with Jewish people that often, but they were able to form because it's whenever you're elevating one type of person above the other, it's very easy to just be like, oh, obviously our type of person is superior to this one because they have this one physical trait. And then so you associate all these ideas of them being inferior to the color of their skin, which is not right, but it's easier to do when you don't know an actual person who can like counteract all of those ideas.
Interesting. Yeah, I've always thought it was a kind of an odd thing, especially in China. I think one thing that I have a strong like initial visceral like resentment towards is like when white people go out in Asia, they're treated like celebrities or gods. Like they're almost a status symbol when you go out in Asia. Like if you have a white person at your table, or if you're hanging out with a white person in your group, you're seen as people who are like more elite or people who have more money or more social status just because you're hanging out with a white person.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the same is not true for any other races. So a lot of internalized inferiority in Asia.
Do you think it depends on the type of white person? Because I feel like China-America relations are pretty bad right now. Like, do you think it would matter if it was an American white person or like a European white person?
Or a European white person?
Have you ever gone out to China with
I have gone out in China. I have not gone out with a white person, but I've seen... Well, this is something my friend who studied abroad in China, he's white, told me. He's just basically like, he's basically like a pretty girl at a club. He's like, I never had to pay for a drink. People would invite me to tables, and I just get to sit at their tables for free. Yeah, he's like, I can see why white people love to travel to Asia because it feeds their ego, you know.
Oh my God, I did not know any of this.
It's actually crazy.
Yeah, typically they're also white people with Asian fetishes. But not my friend.
I don't like this.
But also, like, remember when we went to China with Mark and Chad?
Yeah.
Well, Chad was like, well, okay.
Pause.
I guess our experience was like not going out.
It's 10:57. Should I 11:30 this bakery
Can you say
run?
11:30? Yeah.
I'll ask. He just texted. So let me get
just
my
go
iPad
on your iPad. Don't
text.
you have an iPad? Yeah.
But yeah, I remember Chad getting flocked at the auction house, and I thought it was only like,
because they're
white
gullible.
people have money. And gullible. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't drive a good bargain.
Yeah, they're not used to bargaining. I remember I really wanted to buy a sword at that auction house. Really wanted
same.
one.
I still want it.
I still kind of want one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Damn,
All right.
Rachel,
the other
you
topic
look like
I wanted to talk about.
The girl with the black hair that like crawls out of the TV in this frame.
The
Oh
Grinch,
God.
No, what is it?
Grunge.
Grudge.
Grudge. The Grudge.
Grudge.
The
Grudge. Something
the
like
Grinch. I'ma steal Christmas. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, all right.
Okay, so this one's kind of interesting because Angela and I have talked about this.
Stop
How do
talking
you think
without
people
me.
will
No,
Okay,
continue.
well, you're too busy. You only pick up the phone when you need to be called.
What? I pick up the
Anyways.
phone every time. Be so for real.
Okay.
Rachel picks up the phone when I need outfit advice, so I can't complain about that.
Okay. I guess I never really call the big kids chat. I just like call you guys individually.
Oh yeah.
Anyhow, okay. So how do you think other people will perceive us in reality versus their perception of us online? Andrew and I have talked about this because we've met a fair number of people who we've initially seen online, but then met them in real life and been like, oh, these are two very different personalities. Because like people's online personas and their real life personas can differ drastically. Do you think
that's the perception of people of us.
I think we should get back to this topic once I'm in New York and can witness this firsthand. Yeah. Because I have not met anyone and no one has met me.
That's true. Well, okay. Yeah, that's fair. But I feel like, okay, then we can just talk about from our side, because I think us in real life is pretty genuine to our online personas. In fact, actually for Andrew, I would say it's not. Andrew's depends on whether he's lit or not. He's like either more than his online personality, like more like social and more aggressive.
Yeah, that's true.
Or he's like not aggressive, sorry, more more energy. I don't know what the word for that is. More energetic. More sociable and more energetic when he's lit. And then like when he's not, he's less than his online personality. But you never like exist in the middle. I don't really see you existing in the middle.
Oh, interesting.
But then you on this podcast is like your real persona. Like how you exist on the podcast is not like your little like TikTok skits, because you play it up for TikTok. It's like everyone.
Is how everyone, like when you are the center of attention. I heard a good podcast where any energy that you're giving to the camera takes away like 20% energy. You know how it's like the camera adds 10 pounds?
Yes, that's actually so true.
And it's,
that's actually so true.
I speak normally to the camera and I watch it back and I'm like, why do I sound dead inside? And I'm just speaking normally. And so I like dial it up like 10%. I'm like, okay, sound a little bit more enthusiastic, smile. And so social media me is definitely like not disingenuous, but it is like dialed up to be more engaging.
Yeah, I think for the podcast, it's definitely the same thing. Because, like, in the first few podcasts, I think I played myself as, like, normal me, having normal conversations. But then I realized when I'm looking back, I'm just like, oh, this doesn't seem as... It's not what I perceived while I was in the moment. I thought I was playing it up more. But
and I haven't played it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For podcast...
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can finish.
I lost my train of thought, so you're going to have to go.
Sorry. I was going to say for podcasts, I feel like I'm more me on the podcast because I'm talking to people that I'm super comfortable with. Like, I will not act like this around people that I don't know as well as you guys, which is the vast majority of people.
That's actually true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I'm interested to see because like people love Rachel's online personality and persona, because she's like
in person
a very
I suck.
No. You're just you hold your ground. You're very strong and stubborn. But I feel like in person, when people meet you, they might be like, oh, this is like different from because like when you're meeting strangers, you're obviously not going to be your normal self,
right?
Until you get comfortable with them. So.
Yeah. And I feel like to some degree it's also because I'm talking to two guys. So I feel like I need
how
to
does that change it?
Like,
you hold your ground a little bit more.
My dynamic with guys is generally a little bit different from my dynamic with girls because I feel like I don't like being pushed around by guys, whereas like I'm okay with being pushed around by girls sometimes, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah, no,
I think that's Rachel's a softie.
But have you asked? Yeah.
No, go ahead. It's a completely different tangent.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Have you asked people what their first impression of you was when they saw you on the internet versus when they met you in real life?
Well, I guess this is a question for Jesse.
This is a question for Jesse to see if it's happened yet, because like I have friends from the internet that we followed each other for like multiple years, but we only interacted in real life after like a year of only watching each other's content online. And so we would ask like, am I the person you thought I was going to be out of social media? And I've gotten
That's an interesting question.
A common theme a lot. And I'm like, maybe I should change my social media personality. I've gotten fuckboy like 3 times.
Really?
Maybe 4 times from like mutuals. They're like, oh, I thought you were like a hoe. I'm like, damn.
You are.
Dang.
Is that the
Oh.
what?
What? Andrew,
yeah, no, Yang Shing
Andrew's
thought it
not,
was.
but I thought your
I didn't think I gave off that
your
vibe.
content's
on my
pretty
social-
true to who you are. I feel like it's pretty
I thought it
wholesome.
was-
Besides
yeah.
the shirtless shit,
but I do fitness content, which I feel like is
fitness content.
okay, sure.
Just kidding.
But one of my we'll bleep out the name, but one of my good childhood friends, he. Oh my God! Wait, I need some water. I have. Okay, yeah. So one of my childhood friends. Oh my God! What do I have in my throat? One of my childhood friends was describing how his friends knew of me from social media, and he's like, "Wow, he's so much different than that." And I'm like, "Really?"
Really interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think just because you're confident and you're doing fitness content, I think people just automatically associate you as someone
Yeah.
who would.
I think
I'd probably say, yeah, if I see some
It's probably the
guy like
confidence.
showing off his body, he definitely has some kind of ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more
Not
reserved
saying-
in real life.
Yeah, you most certainly. I think you are. I've just met people who are like pretty different from their online personality,
Yeah.
which is a little bit of a shock factor. But then there are people who are like literally the exact same,
Exact
like
same,
carry
yeah.
the same exact energy like through their online presence, through their actual personality, which is also very interesting to see. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just say, like, I think like, obviously, I can't keep a facade for like 3 years of making content online, but it's definitely like a notch or two dialed up.
Yeah,
Which
I would
I don't
say
think-
yeah. It's hard for me to make that comment or ask people that question because I've only existed on the I've only existed on the internet for the past like 6 months. So I don't have a long track record of being on the internet. Okay. This one's
While
really
you're
deep, so I don't want to get into it.
never mind. While you're finding
Go ahead.
next topic, I'll say this isn't from like people who have perceived me online, but like first impressions versus after they get to know me. Is generally with girls, they'll see me as like a very nice, approachable person, and it stays that way.
Oh.
And then for guys, it's intimidating, and then it stays that way.
I feel
Which
like
I think is really funny, and I really like that.
Rachel is for
Yeah.
the girls,
you are.
but not really in the sense of what that means.
And not in the way that you're, yeah,
Yeah.
it's generally used.
Do you have a lot of straight or close straight male friends, Rachel?
Not super close. I feel like I don't talk to them about a lot of things. It's more so of like if we're gonna hang out, they'll initiate, and I'll be like, okay, sure.
Okay, fine.
No, not okay, fine.
suppose.
But I feel like the type of I've talked about my male friendships before, where I like being friends with guys where I feel like it's like a sibling relationship because there's that level of respect and like those boundaries of like, you know, that they're not friends with you because they're trying to be something more, you know. So I like when there's that level of respect and they're like telling me about things in their life and like wanting to get my input, and it goes both ways, right? But it's more so of that sibling relationship than it is like I don't know, the typical girl guy relationship.
Honestly, all my close friends relationships, they all feel like sibling relationships, and those are the ones that stick around. I like all my friends that I'm the closest to, I always call them either my brother or my like sister, because like they just feel like I've known them for forever. And honestly, what's really cool is that some people, you'll meet them for the first time and immediately you'll click and be like, wow, they already feel like I've known them for years. Like, they feel like my little sister, they feel like my brother or whatever. Meeting those kind of people is one of the coolest things ever, because it's like everything just clicks immediately. But there's also the side of like everything clicking immediately, but then you get to know them a little better, and then you kind of loses that.
Who is this?
The
that luster.
expectations start falling.
The expectations, exactly. But it's really cool if it sustains, or even if it's just like a one-time thing, and you're just like, wow,
Yeah.
I get along with this person really well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, with like a lot of my straight male friendships, I like always end up picking out certain qualities that they have that are similar to you or Andrew's or Jesse or Andrew's.
You
Nice.
do that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you're hanging out with like your male friends, you're just like, wait, Jesse, this quality about this person is the exact same as you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do
you
that a
literally
lot
said
too.
this yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel was like, you should hang out with my guy friend because you guys are exactly like this.
I do the same thing. Like even with like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say their names,
Yeah.
but like Karina, Grace, all of them. I'm just like, you would get along with Rachel so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like our friends who are girls that also we're very close with. We're just like,
That's actually so
like,
true. All my close girlfriends,
Same
Yeah.
genre.
same vibe as Rachel. Or
like would just get along with Rachel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why they feel like close sibling relationships.
Oh, wow.
I think those are the ones that kind of stick around. So do we just look for people that are
Each
similar
other.
in the sense as each other?
That's only applies to my girlfriends.
no.
My guy friends are not like you, Jesse.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
My guy
And
friends are
your guy
very
friends are not like me either. Yeah.
My guy
Yeah,
friends are
my
more
male
like me than
friends
they are like you.
are few and far between, so none of
Although-
my girlfriends are like you guys.
I mean, all my guy friends I think would get along with you for the most part. Like, you've chilled with my closest guy friend, Emerson.
Oh, I love Emerson.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think I mean, I like all your guy friends too, but I just haven't spent that much time with them.
Yeah, that's interesting in terms of like who we decide to be friends with and how their dynamic mixes with our own sibling, like actual siblings dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really thought about that too deeply. But anyways, we are running out of time. I have to get going to get my day started, and Rachel also has to get going, and Andrew doesn't have to do anything.
No, I don't have anything. It's a relaxing Sunday. I love it.
You want to
I'm
do
gonna
my
run some errands.
You want to do
and
my
clean the
econ homework
apartment.
for me?
Hell no.
Yay.
Econ. Why are you taking an econ
Econ.
class?
It's required. I
I
don't
will
know
say I
why.
do like
Concrete.
What econ is it?
Econ.
Engineering econ.
Oh.
Decision
Online
trees.
concrete.
Value of perfect information.
Oh, nice.
Oh, why are you taking that class?
Beats me. I hate
Oh,
that class.
okay.
It's the bane of my
Oh.
existence.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like a
It's
part of your
required.
requirements.
I actually really liked my econ classes. I forgot that I
you
got a
want
minor in econ.
to take my midterm for me on Monday. Okay.
You're just volunteering a lot of. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Rooftop Pod. I hope you guys enjoy this episode as much as we did recording it. I'm your host, Jesse, signing out. And signing out with me is my sister.
Rachel.
And my brother.
Andrew.
Nice. And
I
we
like
will
how
catch
long
you
this
on
pause
the
is.
next. The pause is so long.
It's so long. It's just like
Just do the like fast forward thing. Like speed up the pauses by like
No, I think it's
500,000%.
funny.
Cut them out completely.
I think the pauses are funny. I'm gonna leave them in.
oh my god. Okay.
And I hope you guys will join us on the next episode of the Rooftop Pod.
Peace.